All right, so now we get into what was, to a lot of people, the marquee matchup of the day, the Lakers and Warriors, LeBron James, playing Golden State for the first time in a Laker jersey, and it was a total domination by the LA Lakers, 127 to 120 or 101 in Oakland, too, no less, at Oracle, a tough place to go and win. And the Lakers, for some of that second half without LeBron James, they dominated. So, Ibby, we'll start off with you again.
All right, Lakers made a statement win, but before we get to that, I want to address Zai's standpoint on Philadelphia's management and the GM pick that they had with Fultz over Tatum. In hindsight, yes, that's an easy decision to make, okay? But let's think about their decision that they had with Fultz coming out of Washington when he was an absolute sniper, when he had a limited range. No one could foresee the future of him having a shoulder injury. I mean, is it really a shoulder injury, or is he just got the yips? We don't really know. No one could see this coming in the future. So I think everyone can see in hindsight, yes, easy call to make. But at present time, I guarantee you at least 60% of GMs still pick Fultz. Well, I still remember to this day, he was like a safe number one pick. He was like DeAndre Ayton this year, going number one. His upside was so good that he was going to come in and play right away. Now, the summer leading into it, stuff went down, and who in their right mind would have predicted that Fultz would be in the spot he is now? Nobody. I mean, you just can't guess something like this tragic would happen to a great college player like Markelle Fultz. No one could see that coming. I don't care what anyone says. Do you agree or disagree on me with that point, Zai?
Well, I got to disagree for a couple reasons. One, for as good as you say he was in college, it didn't even make the NCAA tournament. And all really good guards, including Steph Curry, who played at Davidson, and all these guys made. I'm sure there's some people that have missed the tournament, but most of the time, really good players have an impact in the tournament. And when you're that good, we just dogged Ben Simmons a little bit, but Ben Simmons, I remember him he backpacked LSU.
Ben Simmons didn't even make the tournament.
But
right?
LSU was terrible. Like Markelle
LSU
Fultz,
did suck.
No,
Washington wasn't even close.
I mean,
No,
did they
but
even,
the next thing is when you're drafting and you're picking number one, you can't it has to be for sure that this player is going to come in and make an impact. And I just think the Boston Celtics knew they had something in Jason Tatum because if they thought Fultz was good, they would have tried to go after him. They had the pieces, so they got exactly what they wanted. It wasn't you didn't really hear anybody a lot of times people were trying to trade for him, do this, do that. This year, yeah, the Mavs go get Doncic, stuff like that, but you just didn't hear anything about Fultz. In my opinion, was hey, we need a guard. We need to get somebody Tatum will play kind of a wing. Simmons, it just was. I just thought that they tried to almost overthink themselves. I think, and it's really biting them in the ass now.
I'd agree. I mean, with Ibby here.
Pieces that you need. If you're already getting a good wing player, so why not get a guard?
I mean, Tatum would be a good piece to have right now.
Well, like I said, that's easy call to make.
But Jason Tatum's been good since the day he walked on the court.
And Fultz was not?
No. What has Fultz done?
I'm talking about in college.
What did he do in college?
Didn't he even have nationally televised game? I swear I didn't even see him play.
Last time Washington's had a nationally televised game, I was probably a little kid.
Yeah, probably 2000.
Fultz did not do enough in college for me personally to have drafted him number one when you already had championship pieces on your team.
Tatum was balling in the ACC, one of the best conferences in the nation.
Oh, I forgot. The last good point guard Washington had was Isaiah Thomas, but that's totally different.
Yeah. Just to clarify my point, all I was saying, I was having Philadelphia's back a little bit, was that no one could see this coming in the moment. It was much more closer pick than it is now. That's all I'm saying. So to transition to the Lakers and how I view that game, I listened to this game, the whole game on the radio, And going into it, I honestly thought Golden State would win by 15 plus, especially on Christmas Day. But for some reason, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they struggle on Christmas Day. I don't know why. But then who would have thought how the game unfolded? LeBron goes down, has the lead. He goes down with like 21 minutes to go. He has 17 points, 13 rebounds, and like 6 assists. So like great numbers. And you're thinking, okay, he's going to have one of those spectacular games on Christmas. He goes down, and you think momentum is going to absolutely do a 180 shift. But Rajon Rondo, and I know that Zai's guy, is an absolute dog, and he has always played with a massive chip on his shoulder, and he lives for those moments, and we just see like how valuable his experience is in this young locker room. And it looked like they just didn't miss a stride out there. Kyle Kuzma, as we've seen, is an upcoming star. He's a special player. Zubac, he had a great game filling in for JaVale McGee. So they just got some young, talented guys. And we'll see what Magic Johnson's made of this offseason. If LeBron can recruit someone in there to form around this young core. But, I mean, it's exciting times for those Showtime Lakers because they made a statement win last night. And I don't know if they'll have enough pieces to make some noise in the playoffs this year, but they're definitely treading in the right direction. Anyone could see that with LeBron going that way.
It was a big win for the Lakers. I'll go right into it. When LeBron got hurt, Curry had started to hit a couple of threes. He hits that one in the corner. They called timeout. And I really was like, man, this is going to get ugly really quick. But then my boy Rondo and this is where a lot of credit's got to go to Magic Johnson and being able to sign Rondo, JaVale McGee, go get Tyson Chandler, these veterans, because they're able to keep these young guys together and just kind of keep them in the moment, understand the Warriors are going to make some runs and make some plays. Zubac has been great. It's going to be interesting to see what they do because Zubac has probably proven that he should play. JaVale was playing really good before he got hurt, so Tyson Chandler might just become like a locker room guy and then be needed when, be ready when needed. I thought Brandon Ingram had some good moves in the first half. That first post move he had on Kevin Durant was the best move I've ever seen him make. And then, LeBron is LeBron. Lonzo is playing great defense right now. The last 5 point guards he's played are all like all-stars, and he's just locked them down. Josh Hart plays hard every night. So they're just – Kuzma is playing good. So they're just really – they are piecing it together. But the credit to me – and I'm not sold on Luke Walton yet, but the credit really went to the coaching staff, in my opinion. And they were one of the first teams I've ever seen do it, and they stuck to it. As they came out and they doubled Durant every time he caught the ball, and a couple times they doubled Curry, and they said, Draymond, Jonas Jerebko, Iguodala, a couple other guys, you will shoot wide open shots all night. We will not let Kevin Durant post us up. We're not going to let Curry walk down and jack up threes. And they did a really good job. And like Jonas Jerebko started off the game, like he had 4 wide open shots to start the game. And I mean, he airballed one. Draymond looked awful last night. I mean, he looked terrible. And you just start to look at it, like I give the Lakers credit because they stuck to a game plan that a lot of people are afraid to do, and they rolled with it, and it actually worked. So for the first time in his coaching career in LA, I'm going to give Luke Walton the credit, and I think that, I think that maybe some other teams will try that. I don't think you can do it for 7 games, but you might be able to steal a game or something by doing it by a little gimmick defense because we've seen in the past, if Draymond comes out and misses his first couple shots, I mean, you don't know where that ball's going. I mean, because he airballed by about 4 feet last night from the top. I remember there wasn't anybody within 10 feet of him. So now the Warriors, they're getting older. And when I mean talk about older, like Sean Livingston, he's not nearly what he was. When Rondo made him look bad when he was trying to guard him late in the game. And they just don't have the depth. But the thing that just scares me about the Warriors is DeMarcus Cousins. And if DeMarcus Cousins come back and he's good, I don't think anybody can beat him. Now, if DeMarcus Cousins comes back and he's not that good, I really believe that there's a couple of teams in the West that are going to give them a shot. It's going to go down to 6-7 games. So we'll find out because at the end of the day, Curry, Klay, and Durant are going to do their thing. They're going to get hot some games. It's going to be what it is. But the Lakers are getting close.
I'd agree. And, as a Warrior fan, to me that game yesterday it hurt and it was embarrassing. And a lot of Warrior fans are not happy about what they saw, but I'm not going to take any credit away from the Lakers. They played outstanding yesterday. And when LeBron went down, I'm thinking, here's our chance to win. And then all of a sudden it spiraled out of control and the Lakers played out of they almost to me played better without LeBron than they did with him. They were able to carry themselves quite well without him. And, if they play like that without LeBron James, and then when they do get him and they make the playoffs, it could be interesting to see where the Lakers go from here. And I think LA could end up possibly as a top five team in the West to finish the season if they aren't already. So I mean, LeBron James, he's going to miss a few games for him, but once he comes back healthy, he's going to be chomping at the bits to get back out there. And like I said with Golden State, once we get Cousins back, if he doesn't want to, just cry to the referees about everything, he could be a good player, but if he doesn't come out and play well, or if he gets a setback and injured again, team like Oklahoma City or this very Lakers squad could come up and bite him eventually. So who knows where it could go from here for the Warriors, but I think for both teams it's looking up.
Yeah, watching this game, I'm total respect to the Lakers. Losing LeBron, late in the third, and to maintain that lead and just extend it was hats off to them. Their young core is impressive. Kuzma roughing the 8-1-0 where I'm from. He's been playing pretty good this year, putting up 19 last night. Ingram, as we know, he's a great player. Josh Hart, surprisingly, has stepped in and off the bench and provided really good minutes for them, shooting a lot of threes and having a high percentage for that. And then, like Zai said, Zubac, the last 3 games, he's had really high percentage, and he's been, double figures every night. He's been really good. And I just think, people early on in the year, first 15 games, people, oh, the Lakers, they're, whatever record they were, they're just not good enough. And I just want to say, stop it. Because I knew, with LeBron James, the best player in the world right now, they were getting, it takes some time, to become good, with a brand new team and everything and a lot of young guys. Just stop it. And if they get a player like Anthony Davis in the offseason, we know they're going to get a top player. We don't know who it's going to be. Maybe Kawhi, maybe Anthony Davis, maybe both. We'll see. But, the Warriors better watch out. This year, the Warriors have it in the West. But, next year and the year after that, it's going to be a really good matchup. I saw the Warriors winning it all this year. They just off night. Clay, only had 5 points. Only shot 3 threes. Normally he shoots more than that. Curry obviously had an off night. So just one of those nights, that you don't see very often, but it was one of those. And yeah, but the Lakers, for the years to come, they're going to be scary. And I think they'll make a run this year. I'm not sure if they're going to make the Western Finals, but they very well could. But still got the Warriors coming out of the West, but look out for the Lakers. That's all I'm going to say.
I gotta agree with a lot of you guys. I'm probably gonna piggyback off a lot of you too. I got excited when we started talking about the Lake. I want to go pull out my Kobe and Shaq poster that I got from the book fair back in 2004. Safe to say, I think the Lake show's back. LeBron he's come in. He's put a stamp on the Lakers. He's molded this young core, and it's finally starting to show. Everyone said, Luke Walton's on the hot seat. Again, Zai kind of cleared that up. When you have a coaching staff that's going to come out and, game plan for superstars, and I was watching this game too. You double team guys like Durant. You're running guys off ball screens, etc. That a guy like that doesn't deserve to be on the hot seat. I'm excited. I'm a big Lonzo Ball fan. He's played great defensively. The offensive game's going to come, but you need guys to have a role. We've seen that historically with LeBron James teams. You need everybody to have a role. He hasn't really done terrific with superstars, but when people buy in, I think Lonzo's really buying in to checking people, checking opposing point guards almost full court. He was in Kemba Walker full court, 94 feet the other day. So I think you have those type of players. I think Brandon Ingram's getting better. I know he's been mentioned in the trade block with Anthony Davis. The Lakers are going to get another superstar. That's out of question. LeBron, he even said one of the bigger reasons why he came to LA was his recruiting appeal, and they recruit superstars to take over his legacy. So, but again, Kuzma, this young core, their bench as well. McGee sat out. Zubac has played terrific over the past 3-game span here. You're deep. You're deep. The Tyson Chandler signing was a great sign. I think the Lakers are a team that could make a run for the Warriors in the Western Conference. I think they do get to the Western Conference Finals. When you have a great leader like LeBron and you have these guys who are buying into their roles, you have a coaching staff who's scheming correctly. It's starting to unfold now. We're starting to get to that halfway point. The Lakers are starting to unfold. They're starting to get into their groove here. So I'm excited to see them play. I love watching it. Have to stay up a little late a couple nights, but I'm looking forward to the Lakers making a late playoff run. As for the Warriors, they're going to be the Warriors. They've had more off nights this year than they have in the previous years. I think a lot of people got accustomed to the 72-win Warriors, and now, it could be that age factor like what Coach Zai was talking about, but I just think they're starting to get into nights where they have off games. Clay played terrible. He hasn't played great this year at all, besides a couple, spotty games here and there. He played terrible. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, they had, average games for their superstar title. I think the big thing, though, with the Warriors is they haven't had that role player buy-in like what the Lakers had this year. Guys like, Draymond Green, he clanked a floater from the free throw line, I think was, and guys like that, they have to step up. I've never liked Draymond Green personally. I still don't. I don't know why he's in the league. I think the Warrior system is the only reason. But I think it's finally starting to show why Draymond is why I think he's so bad. He does work hard. I give him credit, but shooting wise, nothing. The bench, again, they're deep. They played everybody on their bench last night. It's just they don't have household names. Livingston is getting older. They lost JaVale McGee, which I think is huge for them. When they get DeMarcus Cousins back, there could be change. We never know. We never know. I think the Warriors are going to be the Warriors. They're going to make it deep in the playoffs, but we don't know. We've seen the Kevin Durant, DeMarcus Cousins. I think Kevin Durant has already said he's leaning towards leaving the Warriors, in Golden State this offseason. That could be because of the Cousins. Yeah, who knows? DeMarcus might not even play this year. We don't know yet, and we're not really going to know until we see it. So, but I love seeing the Lake Show put a whooping on what is called the best team in the league last night. I hope we get to see it a lot more. And, Warriors going forward, I think it's a toss-up right now. Obviously, they're a top team in the West, but we got to see what happens when Boogie gets back. We got to figure it out. So,
I have a kind of like a takeaway on kind of what Trav said. The Warriors have been doing this, 3-4 years in a row. It's the regular season. You're getting every night they play. They're getting every team's best shot. I think, they're having some off nights there, more than usual. But I think they're just kind of chilling. They know, like, they're a great team that wants to play playoffs. We kind of saw this last year in the regular season, where they kind of took some nights off. They didn't have as good as a record as, the 72 win. I think they're just kind of like last night is a bad example. I think they just played bad, but they're taking more nights off, and just gearing up for the playoff, another deep playoff run. That's just what I see.
I follow the Warriors closely. Go ahead,
Debbie. Go ahead.
Is that last night, and I think it's really apparent that everyone gives Golden State's like their best shot because the Golden State Warriors, they're back-to-back defending champs. They're 3-time out of 4-year champs. So this game last night was much more important to the Lakers than it was the Warriors. I think they have absolute buy-in from their role players. And I think one of those role players, even though he's an all-star, is Draymond Green. He has absolutely just completely bought into his role since he stepped foot on the Warriors floor. We had this debate multiple times over the years is that Draymond Green is an all-star because he's on the Golden State Warriors. He's just a role player, and that's how he plays his game. He doesn't play like an all-star. He just does whatever he needs to do, and he does it well. Whether that's rebounding, assists, just making the right play, or just bringing that energy on the defensive end. So to your point, Trav, I think they have absolute buy-in. I just think guys are getting older. Yes, Andre Iguodala had a great game yesterday, but he's getting old. Sean Livingston's getting old. Their second unit is filled with non-shooters of Kevin Looney. Yes, Jonas Jerebko can shoot, but yes, their role players are completely bought in. The game last night is just not as important, plain and simple, as it was to Los Angeles Lakers. So that's my first point. And second point, I think that the whole big thing is Boogie Cousins will return within the next month, January, I believe. But when we look at it, does he make the Golden State Warriors better? Yes, Boogie's a great player, but we see all the baggage that he had at Sacramento and New Orleans. But taking a 1-year, $5.3 million contract, does that say he's bought in? I think it might, and I think it might take guys in the locker room like Kevin Durant, a champion, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, say, hey, you're not going to do all that negative stuff and that cancerous stuff that you were doing in Sacramento and New Orleans. Like, you're going to come here and you're going to play ball and you're going to do it the team first. But yes, he can be bought in, but his style of play is a half-court ISO game, isolation from 15 feet away, or face-up game. Where Golden State, they're the best. I mean, Klay Thompson had like 60 points with 22 dribbles. Like, they need to move the ball. Like, that's their philosophy. Pop the ball, run off screens. But that's not Boogie's game. And so I think that's going to be very interesting when he comes back. They're just totally, like, his type of play is completely different from what type of system that Golden State runs. So I honestly do not think that Boogie makes him a better player, a better team.
Maybe I got a question for you.
What's that?
All right, you were a college basketball player. Did you ever go into a game one night and say, dang, I'm going to take it easy on this team?
Well, never, but I just think that, like, you're more pumped up for a different game, like, that you want to show the world.
I can't agree
the Warriors are just content.
I can't agree. I can't agree that teams go in and they're just like, oh, they're nonchalant about a night. You know, if you have any competitive feel in your body, you don't want to lose no matter what day it is. You especially don't want to. They played in Oracle Arena in front of their home crowd. You know, it's maybe it wasn't a huge game for the Warriors, but to me, that's a big game. You got LeBron coming in your place. You know, you got the GOAT in Oracle Arena. You don't want to get showed up. Steph Curry, who has got all this praise that he could go down as the best shooter in the game. That's a head-to-head matchup, one of the best players in the NBA. If anything, that should add fuel to it, I think. So with that being said, the other thing is it's his guys' job. They're getting paid millions to play the game of basketball. You don't perform, you don't get paid. Therefore, again, just like everyone else's job, we got to perform. I don't think that they had a game where they played nonchalant, and I don't agree with that at all. Next thing is, I'm just going to say this because I can argue it all night, but Draymond is god-awful. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's all I'm going to say.
I have a hot take, and I noticed it early in the game. LeBron came out really aggressive. And what I mean by that is we've seen it in the past, like when LeBron is engaged and comes out as a scorer, and I mean, he went right at guys last night early. It just makes the teams he plays at really early. But it just makes him really good, makes the teams really good that he plays on, and it makes them so hard to guard, and it gives other guys so much more confidence. Like, one of my biggest flaws in LeBron has always been there's times where he'll pass the ball 15, 20 times in a row, and then, he just doesn't shoot until he absolutely has to. But I love the LeBron that comes down engaged. But here's my theory to why he was engaged. I think Kevin Durant opened a bad can of worms. And when he came at LeBron about the whole recruiting thing, like, I just think that LeBron is still the best player in the world, and I think Kevin Durant took a shot at him, and I think LeBron all of a sudden is like, whoa, like, I've made the finals with some of these bums before, like, and we've come in and we competed. Should have won game one last year, which I don't think they would have won the series, but it would have made it a hell of a lot more interesting. It would have made Game 3 a lot more interesting. So they might have been able to take a lot longer, but the Lakers are better than the Cavs were last year. And all of a sudden now you open up that can of worms and you give LeBron a little bit of motivation. I mean, I think LeBron is coming at Kevin Durant now, and that was like one of the first times I've seen him because there's been times where I've been ready to throw my TV out the window this year where he comes out and he's letting Kuzma and Lonzo and all these guys jack shots, and he's just trying to be really passive. But he came out on a mission last night, and he was engaged. He was a great team defender. He pushed the pace. He got to the rim. He did everything that the greatest player in the world should do. But I really believe a lot of it was like, because he even tried to dunk on him one time, and Kevin Durant got the foul, and you could just tell by LeBron's look. Like, it was like, all right, man, you want to talk shit? It's game on now.
I'd agree, and Ibby, my bad for cutting you off there, but I mean, I follow the Warriors really closely, and Kevin Durant is not leaving. At least, especially if the Warriors lose in the finals this year or don't even get there, Kevin Durant's going to stay there and maybe make a point and win one more, in the next season before he, takes his journey somewhere else. But Kevin Durant's going to stay right where he is. And I do agree, Zai, Durant did piss LeBron James off with the statements about the recruiting and stuff like that. And LeBron came out ready to go. And the Lakers, when LeBron's rolling, everybody else, usually comes under his wing. And that they did, and they made a statement win at Oracle yesterday.
I got to disagree that Kevin Durant will be a New York Knick next year. You heard it here first. Kevin Durant's going to the Knicks.
I do think, as I hate to say it, I was a big fan of him when he was at OKC, and when he left to the Warriors, I hate him. He's still a great player, but I do think he's going to leave. It might not be this year, but I do think he's going to leave.
I think they win it. He leaves on a ring. The Warriors see it. Everybody in the world sees it, especially now that the Lakers are coming. The Warriors are going to fall apart. It's going to happen. So, but they'll still have Curry and Clay and Draymond. Those three, I think, will stay. So they're going to be relevant for a while. But Durant is gone. I'm telling you that right now, because there's a good chance that Durant's going to go to the East and Kawhi is going to come back to the West. So Durant's going to go be the king of the East.
I can totally see that happening.
I can see it happening too, just not this year though.
New York Knicks next year. Him and Porzingis.
That'd be pretty nice new.
Who knows? And Zion Williamson.
That's right. And Zion.
Oh.
I mean, the Knicks would be a top team in the East right away.
Maybe a top team in the whole league.
I just think what happened between, and we can argue this a different day, but what happened between Durant and Green has gotten pushed under the rug because they are champions. And basically Curry's, I think it just has come down to like, listen, you're here. This is your last year. Let's go win a ring. Let's get what we're here to do, and then get the fuck out.
No, I agree with that also. I think that's exactly what happened. Staff, kind of brought everyone together and said, hey, let's just go one last, ride together. One more ring, and then you can get out,
Who knows where this could go for the Warriors here in the future. So that'll wrap it up with the Lake Show and the Warriors. And lastly, we will get into the Blazers and the Utah Jazz.